All right, Griz Nation, we are back for another episode. Before we get into the episode, I just want to let you guys know that we are part of a Fans Nation Network YouTube channel. You can watch all of our episodes live there and check us out there. Make sure you subscribe to the feed. They've got a lot of great content out there, just not from Big Sky schools, but around the nation as well. You can also rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Definitely, if you're on Apple, give us a hit there. It definitely helps us out getting more viewership there. And also, we have a great episode for you today. We have been doing a kind of recap of introducing Griz Nation to the future Griz players. Today we have Cy Stevenson from Libby, Montana. He's a 6'2", 210 linebacker, and it's great to have you on, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Well, Cy, those people that don't know you, give us a little background about yourself and where'd you grow up?
I'm from Libby, Montana. It's an A school. It's tucked up in the Northwest. It's about 30 minutes from Canada, the Canadian border, about 30 minutes from the Idaho border. So isolated small town up in the Northwest. But yeah, Libby, Montana, great place.
Nice, man. What was like growing up there?
I mean, it's an isolated place. Not too many towns around. A lot of mountain. It's a real mountainous area, so spending a lot of times up in the mountains, up in the lakes. A lot of fishing. All the normal Montana stuff.
Nice. Gotta love that. A lot of the players that we talked to, that they were introduced to sports usually probably at a young age. What was your first introduction to sports?
Oh man, my first introduction to sports would probably be it would be skiing and all that, outdoor stuff when you're young, real young. And then, that late elementary school, 5th, 6th grade, started playing travel basketball and got into tackle football. And then, yeah, it just followed from there.
Awesome. Are you a big skier? Or are you a snowboarder?
I'm a skier. My parents grew me up as a skier. So always been a skier. Yeah.
I am a horrible skier. I can cross country ski okay. If I'm going downhill, I'd rather be on like a snowboard. Even then, I'm pretty dangerous. I'm not very good. My first snowboarding experience, I was like, how hard can this be?
Right.
I don't need to take any lessons.
Yeah.
I got okay, but I didn't know how to stop, and so I just fall.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm lucky I didn't kill myself because it was not good at all. Oh my gosh, learned my lesson there.
Yeah.
So you mentioned playing other sports. What other sports did you play in high school?
Football, basketball, track. That was the rotation
Okay.
through the 4 years. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Were you in basketball? Were you forward? Were you center?
I played when I was younger, I played the guard position, and when I got older, we didn't have a big team, so I actually got plugged in at the 5. Big boy down getting rebounds. So
there you go.
Yeah,
I hear you on that one. Your track and field. What were you specializing in?
I did a lot. I mean, a pretty wide range. I did shot put. I would do the throwing events, but I would also do a lot of sprints, the 100, the 2, both relays, and occasionally the 4 when my coach felt he needed to discipline us. So
nice, man. Well, that just wrapped up. How did things go this year for you?
I had a little hamstring injury, so I couldn't run my relays at state, which was a bit frustrating. But I took 3rd in shot put, which I was hoping for higher. I really was. Can't change it now. So
hey, third is better than last, right? So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How's the hamstring doing?
It's good. It was just a minor strain, but my coach didn't want me pushing it at state. Yeah. It was the week before, so it was just a minor strain down low. But
nice, man. So going and playing football at the University of Montana, did you always want to play college football, and when did you know that was something you wanted to go after?
Yeah, I think I always knew I wanted to play college football, but I think the idea really became set in stone after my sophomore season. And man, after my sophomore season, it became locked in, and it was like a second nature kind of thing to, that's what I was gonna do. That's where my mind was at, was I was gonna play a high level of college football. So yeah, I think I always wanted to, but after that sophomore season, something really clicked.
Nice. Did you always want to play for the Griz, or what were some of the teams that you were kind of like, oh, I definitely want to play?
Oh yeah, well, both my parents graduated from UM. Both my sisters currently go there, and
Okay.
yeah, my dad grew up there, so a ton of always grew up going to Grizz games, grew up supporting the Grizz. I wanted to be a Grizz since day one.
That's awesome.
That was definitely where I wanted to be. So I was thrilled.
That's awesome, man. Being an athlete, you've probably in a small town, that the younger kids look up to you. What kind of advice and what kind of tips do you give, maybe some student athletes that might be listening to this, or anybody that hopes to reach to that college potential of playing sports?
I think the two most important attributes someone could have is preparation and discipline. I think the discipline comes in, getting to bed early and then getting up early. You get out what you put in. So the discipline is so important in that aspect. And then the preparation comes. Preparation, you need it for everything, for a test. For the camp season, for recruiting. If you're coming up into your senior season, you just got to be ready, prepare, and focus. Just be ready.
So what were you said your sophomore year you kind of dialed in. What were some of the things that you were kind of dialed into? Were there specific aspects that you were more dialed into?
Oh yeah, I've been in the weight room since middle school. My dad and I, we've been pretty good with that. But after that sophomore season, I realized I just needed to get faster. So it kind of flipped in my mind. Speed. So I started doing I would work out with my track coach every weekend after school. Just everything speed was getting my quick twitch muscles back, and I just really honing in on speed.
Nice. Well, that jumps off the page when you see your film. The speed there, and also just that the instincts of plugging a hole. And I think that linebacker crew, you play that really well. You know how to plug a hole. You know how to get there quick for an instinct. So I think that will serve you well on into the Griz. So, what was your recruitment like? Everybody, not everyone, because I never was able to be recruited for anything. So, how was that like being recruited, and that feeling of other coaches pursuing you, and what was that like?
It was a really fun. It was stressful, but a really fun experience. In Libby, not a ton of people really got that recognition. So for me to be able to experience that and go through it with my family was a lot of fun. I started after my sophomore season. I started talking to some NAIA schools and around the Frontier Conference in Montana. And then after my junior year is when I started. I talked a lot to the University of Idaho, a lot to Montana State, and a lot to the University of Montana. Those were the big three that were recruiting me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You said, for you and your family, like, how was that process, and what was that like for you, going through that with your family, and how much did you rely on them?
Oh, so much. My dad, that was the best part. My dad and I, we traveled everywhere. We would go to all the camps together. He was so supportive. No, but even the community of Libby was so supportive. That's what was awesome, is I just had this awesome community, this awesome family behind me. We were able to, really able to focus in and make them proud. So that was the goal. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You said you're from Libby, you're a Montana kid, and you mentioned you always wanted to kind of play for the Griz.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember your first Griz game that you went to?
I don't know if I remember my first one, but I definitely remember a lot when I was just a little kid trying to get up on the jumbotron. And I love football from a young age. So I would remember all the offense. I remember all the defensive players' names. It was just no, but I don't remember the first one. But I definitely remember being excited to go to them.
Were you always the kid that would like run on the field after the game?
No, I wasn't quite that extreme. But yeah, no.
Nice. What was your if you had to pick one that maybe you were at, what would your favorite Grizz game be?
This year or like
Anytime.
anytime? Oh man, I think that first game after I committed was Northwestern State.
Okay.
So going into the locker room after that and just seeing, how excited everyone was and the energy that came with it was awesome. That had to be my favorite. Just going onto the field and seeing how it interacted with the players and saw how the energy was. But yeah, I think that had to be it.
That's awesome, man. What made you, through your recruiting process, you mentioned Montana State, Idaho, and some of the frontier schools. What made you pick Montana?
I think majorly, it was the family base, and the atmosphere in
Yeah.
Missoula. It does not get better. I mean, I don't even know if there's a school that's better in the West to play at. And it's Montana. There's no professional sports team, so
Yeah.
the whole town of Missoula is going to be behind you. Is going to be rocking with you. And yeah, I mean, I wanted to be in Missoula forever. So that's
awesome.
definitely.
Awesome. You mentioned the other schools. What school? You're probably well known, or the Big Sky Conference. What Big Sky Conference school are you looking forward to playing?
You have to say Montana State, right? You beat State.
Yep.
But on the other hand, it would have to be the Brownstein game going over. I want to beat up Idaho, so it would a toss up between those two. But beat State number 1, and I'll say Brownstein number 2.
That's awesome. Since your season has been done, you've went into track and field. What are some of the things that you're doing to prepare for next year?
Man, as of right now, back to the basics, the plyometrics, the speed, continuing to work out with my track coach. I think, and we're getting workouts from the university, so I'm implementing those into what I do, but mainly just stay fast, stay ready, stay sharp. I mean, those are the biggest things. Just keep working on what I have and get it to the next level.
Nice. So are you going down for any of the workouts, or are you just waiting till fall to go down?
I'm waiting till fall. My last summer, it was what they kind of told me is my last summer home. So I'm spending it in Libby for one last summer.
Awesome, man. Live that up, man.
Oh yeah.
You got to. So
yeah.
What makes you keep on striving? A lot of people, when they make it to somewhere or make it to where they want to, it drops off, right?
Right.
And well worth that. You spend all this time and you make it where you want to make it.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you keep striving to better yourself at your craft?
Again, I think it has to go back to the community of Libby, the community of Lincoln County, even, and my family. I mean, I see these little kids in the hallway, and they're all, Cy, he's going to the Griz, he's going to the Griz, and seeing these little kids who ask me, what did I do, how did I do this, and that's what my mind always flickers back to. And along with my family being so supportive, my dad, he's loving it, he's having a blast with me. So, just to make everyone proud, to make my community, make my family proud are the two definitely biggest factors.
Awesome. What other positions, did you play in high school?
Mm-hmm. Oh man, this is a good. So coming from Libby, I played everywhere. Freshman year, I started at safety on the defensive side of the ball. After that year, my sophomore season, I started at D end on defense and tight end on offense. And then my junior year came, I started at running back, and I started at defensive end, and I even had to go and play right tackle for a game. So,
oh wow,
yeah, we had some injury problems, so we had to make some quick adjustments. I had to go play with the big boys on the line, and then senior year, that's when I made the switch to linebacker and running back and receiver.
Okay,
threat there. So yeah, I'm everywhere.
Awesome. You know where they're like trying to put you at, or have they mentioned that to you?
Yeah, linebacker.
Okay.
Which that's exciting. That's where I want to be.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your favorite position? You've played a plethora of positions. What's your favorite?
That's tough. I mean, I love making plays. I love making the big plays. So, but in high school is wherever, I could I can make it the biggest impact. But I can't. I'm excited to play linebacker. Truly, that's where I want to be. That's where
That's
my heart
awesome.
is.
That's awesome. You got to love those hits where you just take the breath out of the quarterback, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right.
That's awesome. You know, Montana, they call it linebacker U,
hmm
uh, has seen amazing linebackers, and especially linebackers that have been from Montana.
Right.
And the recent, Patrick O'Connell.
Right.
What does that mean to you being a part of that, but knowing that those guys didn't just get it handed down to them; they
Right.
worked their butt off.
Right.
What
Right.
what what is that like?
Oh, it's such an honor. That's where I wanted to be on the field. That was my dream. And you watch these Montana born and raised guys go up and dominate line at linebacker year in year out, and I cannot wait to be there. That's the place I wanted to be, and I'll have great role models ahead of me, some great seniors that I'll get to learn from, and yeah, I'm so excited. That's exactly where I wanted to be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, did you on your recruitment, your trip there, did you stay with the team or did you have a chaperone that you were with?
Oh yeah, I had Carson Rostad as my host, so that was really fun. But I also spent a lot of time with Braxton, and I spent a lot of time with Levi too. So
Okay,
those
cool.
guys who we were around a lot, and yeah, they were a blast. They were a real good group of guys, and I'm blessed that I get to learn under these guys.
Awesome. Awesome. In high school, you said you played both positions,
Mm.
and you did say your favorite was the uh, wherever you could make a difference at.
Yeah,
Um, I think going into college, I think that's probably what they'll probably preach to you, and I've heard it from former Grizzlies. Just do whatever you can to reach the field to help the team. Is that kind of your mindset going into this?
yeah, for sure, for sure. I want to be where I'm needed, make the team better in any way possible I can, whether that being, obviously I want to be on the field, but my younger years, spend some time, just wherever they need me. Yeah.
You know, what are you looking forward to next year, playing for the Grizz?
Looking forward to next year. I mean, I cannot wait to get under the strength program. I think I have a lot of potential. I mean, coming from Libby, we don't have a trainer. We don't have any of the nutritionists. We don't have anything like that. So I think I have a lot of potential that's untapped, and I can't wait to get under a professional because I know they're going to make me the best possible player I can be. So
Yeah,
that's truly what I'm excited for.
nice. Oh, I gotta. What makes a great linebacker to you?
I think tenacity, having the motor and the drive. I think those are the three biggest things. Someone that's going to put their head down and work, who's not going to want all the attention, but someone who just especially being the linebacker. That's what I seen. Grizz linebackers are guys who work and work, and everyone they say they're hard workers. So I think just someone who's going to put their head down and work, and yeah, day in day out. Yeah.
So how I know that I don't know if you are superstitious, but some people are, some people aren't.
Yeah.
But also athletes, they have certain ways that they prepare for practice. They have
hmm
games. So how do you usually get ready for a game?
Visualization is something that I've been working on the past year. We had a coach who kind of preached it to us this year, and I've been doing it a little bit more. But visualization before games. Our coach, no pregame music, no earbuds, none. He's old school, so we're we're kind of we're a bit old, we're a bit old school, I guess. So uh,
I bet you you'll get to the new school pretty quick
yeah,
in your freshman year.
but yeah, just visualization. That's the biggest thing I'd say. Mhm.
Okay, what kind of music do you listen to?
Overall, I'm everywhere, man. I'm some country, I'm some rap, I'm everywhere.
Okay,
It's
okay.
all over. It's all over the board.
That's same here, man. Same here. I
Yeah,
can't just pick one.
exactly. Right.
Oh, favorite food, buddy.
Favorite food? Ooh, it'd be pasta. I'm a
Okay.
pasta fan, 100%. Everywhere I'm going, if it's pasta on the menu, I'll get pasta.
There you go. You got to get those carbs put
The
pack on
carbs,
that weight,
exactly. Yeah, that's right.
right? Nice, nice. You mentioned your family a lot, to get to this point, countless hours with you, but also your family, the people behind the scenes, your coaches, your friends, being with you. Who has been that most influential person in your life?
I'd have to say my dad. Like I said earlier, I mean, we've been working out together since middle school, and he still kicks my butt. But we drove all over this summer together. We'd go all over the state, to Idaho, to Montana, or to MSU. So day after day, and it was just him not ever complaining, him just being super excited to go with me. It'd have to be him. He's just such a positive guy in my life, and he's made me who I am, and just gave me the drive to do what I can do.
You mentioned, both your parents went to the University of Montana, and
Mhm.
I believe you said your two sisters, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. How was that? I'm sure you didn't feel pressured to pick Montana, but how was that like going through that process and having the school that you looked up to and you wanted to go there, but having these other two school actually this one school that's okay and this other school that's I can't stand.
Right.
How was that?
It was good. I mean, I always in the back of my mind is like, maybe it's a possibility I'll go here, but I truly I always stay true to where I wanted to be in Missoula. So I mean, it was a safety option, honestly. That's kind of how I viewed it. Was like, if Missoula doesn't work out, maybe I'll go here, maybe I'll go here. But
Yeah.
I mean, I committed it just a couple days after I got my offer from the Griz, because I just knew I knew that's where I wanted to be. So
Yeah. You
mhm.
know, uh, with all the different staff changes and stuff, who are you looking forward to most, like with your position and your coaching staff that you're excited to play for?
I met Coach Cooper,
Okay.
Coach Cooper, the new linebacker coach. I went over him. It seemed like a great guy, very knowledgeable. Uh, I honestly really liked his morals, how he preached coaching. It was just uh, time. It takes time to understand. It takes time to, but giving it your all is what we want. We want you to give it your all. So, Coach Cooper seems like a great guy, and I cannot wait to work for him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They've got a great group of coaches there, and I'm sure that they'll do great with you. Um, you mentioned, um, what you're wanting to do next year, but break it down for us. Like, what are your expectations? You can say, "Oh, I want to start," but realistically, if you look back at the program,
Right.
that doesn't happen that often.
Right.
But so what is your expectations in your mindset going into next year?
Yeah, I obviously want to see the field, but I
Yeah.
know that's going to take time. Learning the defense is going to take time. Paying my dues, right? So I want to get in, learn the program, really show what I can do, earn myself that role. So, take my time, and or not necessarily take my time, but just reach that potential I know I have.
You know, you mentioned, your drive, your family. What are some other things that make you drive to do better, to get to that next? And what are those things that you want to accomplish
Mhm.
in your football career at UM?
I mean, you always have to say 37, right?
There you go. There you go.
37 is obviously a goal. Montana born, and that number obviously shines amongst the rest. But I'd say I want to be everything I can possibly be, every award I could possibly get that's in the reaches. So I want to accomplish it all as deep as it can get.
Nice, huh? You know, Sorry. Well, your lot, Mel. I keep on thinking like you're ending, like you said, like tomorrow is your last day in high school.
Hmm.
Let's go forward and kind of go through this and go 7 years from now, right?
Right.
What do you hope to see in it? And that's crazy. And
Right.
I came up with seven just because I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, red shirt, maybe, different kind of all the shirts that they have, right?
Yeah. Right.
7 years, maybe 6 years, you might have. What do you hope to see after those years?
After about 7 years, I'm not leaving Montana. I want to be in Montana. Man, I don't know necessarily what area. I want to be in the West. I want to be working and wrap up a good career with the UM and hopefully come back to some Griz games. Have a good job. Yeah.
Are you is something like the NFL something that you've wanted to do as a kid? Probably
Oh
every
yeah.
kid wants it and
Yeah. Right.
has aspirations, right?
Right. As a kid, your teacher asks you what you want to do, and you're all like, "You want to be a football player." So I
Yep.
don't think that's ever left my mind. If it's in that realm of possibilities, then for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's your career that you're or you're not your career, but your major you're going for?
Right now, I'm going for business, but
Okay.
I'm truly undecided. My oldest sister, she's just finishing up her nursing degree, and then my other sister is just finishing up her. She just finished up speech pathology school. So
Oh wow.
they're both in much different fields. So I mean, and they also switched their major. So that's
Okay.
something. You know, I don't know. I'm not too set on.
You've got a while.
Yeah. Right.
You got those gen eds that it'll take you a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
So man, that's all I had. I hope we kind of introduced you to Grizz Nation.
Yeah.
I think you probably already know what Grizz Nation is like, being from Libby, and I just can't wait for you to experience that. I think the tunnel will be a blast.
Oh,
You running out of that tunnel for that first time. I can't
yeah.
wait to see you out there, man.
Right.
But thank you for giving us the time and kind of introducing yourself to Grizz Nation, man.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
No problem.